I never imagined a few photos could unravel so much. It all began when I noticed Alina, my wife, starting to grow distant. She was glued to her phone more than usual, texting late at night, chuckling at messages she never showed me. I didn't pry. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, trusted her, let her have her space. But that trust began to erode the day I came across a picture on social media, Alina with her boss. His hand resting possessively on her waist, both of them smiling in a way that seemed far too intimate for a work relationship. I didn't say anything right away. I needed to be certain. So I began observing, listening, watching the way she spoke about work. She kept mentioning her boss, Adam, how hilarious he was, how no one understood her stress the way he did. Every compliment she threw his way made my gut twist. But still, I stayed quiet. I waited for undeniable proof. Then one evening, I asked to borrow her phone to make a quick call. Her reaction was instant, her grip tightened around it, her body stiffened, but eventually, she handed it over, reluctantly. That moment said everything. I waited until she left the room, then opened her hidden gallery. What I found crushed me. Dozens of selfies. Her and Adam. Together at fancy dinners, sitting close in his car, even posing on what looked like a beach resort. None of it looked remotely professional. None of it looked innocent. When I confronted her, she laughed. Actually laughed. "You're seriously upset over a few selfies with my boss?" she scoffed, rolling her eyes like I was being ridiculous. Her tone wasn't just mocking, it was belittling. That laugh hit harder than any insult. It wasn't just disrespect, it was as if my pain meant nothing at all. That's when I knew, this wasn't about pictures. It was deeper. Emotional betrayal, at the very least. I looked her in the eyes and asked, "Are you involved with him in any way?" She scoffed again, accused me of being paranoid, said I was always insecure and imagining things. But her defensiveness, the way she avoided looking at me, spoke louder than anything she said. Her silence was the only confession I needed. That night, I packed a bag and left. I stayed at my brother's place, trying to process everything. I didn't call her. I didn't text. I wanted her to sit with the consequences of what she'd done. When I told my brother, he was livid. Told me to cut my losses and walk away. But it wasn't that simple. 4 years of marriage doesn't vanish overnight. The next morning, her messages started. One after another. "Please come back. It meant nothing. You're overreacting." She spun it around, trying to make it seem like I was the one at fault. But it was too late. Her lies had already shattered what little trust remained. 2 days later, she showed up at my brother's front door, uninvited. She looked exhausted, like sleep hadn't touched her in days. She begged to talk. Said she missed me. Admitted she'd made a mistake. It was never physical, she claimed, tears slipping down her cheeks. It was just emotional. "He listened to me more than you did." That hit like a punch to the chest. I had worked long hours to support us. Made time for date nights. Celebrated her smallest achievements. I thought I was being a good husband. And yet, somehow, this man, her boss, had made her feel more heard? I didn't respond. I just stood up and quietly shut the door behind her. Weeks went by. I turned inward. Therapy, work, spending time with people who respected and valued me. Alina kept reaching out. Long messages. Voicemails filled with apologies. She even came to my office one day, begging for 5 minutes. I told security not to let her in again. Eventually, I filed for divorce. Not out of revenge, but because I owed it to myself. A relationship built without trust isn't a relationship at all. She cried in court. Said she never intended to hurt me. Maybe she didn't. But intention doesn't undo pain. Later, I heard from mutual friends that Adam had been fired for inappropriate conduct at work. Apparently, Alina wasn't the only one he got too close to. She messaged me one last time. Said she felt used by him. Said she regretted everything. But by then, I had already moved on, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Looking back, it was never just about those photos. It was the way she dismissed my pain. The way she laughed at my hurt. The way she minimized what she'd done, trying to make it seem small. Those pictures were only the spark. The truth unraveled all on its own. And I'm grateful I walked away when I did. Today, my life is quiet, honest, free of deception. Yes, I lost a marriage, but I gained clarity, and that's something her smile in those pictures could never give me.